hope you're already enjoying your August produce box. Today we are going to cook up the broccoli. This is a new addition to our box this month. And a lot of people don't particularly care for broccoli, although broccoli really loves you. It is very good for you. In fact, a half a cup of cooked broccoli includes almost all of your vitamin C content that you need for the day. And if you eat it raw, you get more than the recommended daily intake for vitamin C per day. It's also full of all kinds of things that can reduce inflammation in your body and just make you feel better. But for some people, it's hard to get past that bitter undertone that sometimes broccoli has. So we're going to sweeten up this broccoli a little bit by cooking it with some of our oranges. So that's what we're going to start with. So grab your broccoli and orange and let's get cooking. The first thing you want to do is you want to chop up your broccoli. Now I often see people do this. They take their broccoli, they chop the stem off, and then they chuck the stem away. Don't do that. There's lots of delicious flavor in the stem. In fact, the stem is actually my favorite part of the broccoli to eat. But what makes it harder to eat is this tough outer skin. So that is the part you do want to cut away. You can use a peeler or you can just take your knife and you can just cut off around all of those edges until what you have left is this really tender inner core of the broccoli. You can cut that into coins, you could cut it off, sometimes I cut it to kind of like broccoli sticks, and just throw that in the pot with the rest of your broccoli. So don't waste your stems, cut those up and eat them too. They're super tender and delicious. So cut up your broccoli into whatever size pieces you like, whether that's sort of a bite-sized size. I like mine. Actually, when I cut it, I tend to leave it in the larger florets because that's the way I like to eat it. So cut it whatever works for you, and then we'll start prepping our sauce. We're going to make a really easy orange sauce for our broccoli, and you can really get away with just using the orange, a little bit of butter. I'm using ghee, but butter is fine, and some salt. That's the very basic recipe. If you have some fresh garlic or some fresh ginger, or even a little pinch of dried ginger, and you want to add that in to just add a little more flavor, you can do that as well. So we're going to start with our orange. We're going to start by using a little of the zest from the orange. I have this microplane here that I'm going to use, but this is a much less expensive tool that I used for a long time before I was gifted this one. It works just as well for getting zest off an orange. You can also chop it really finely, but this is a lot faster. So a lot of the flavor of the orange is in the zest, so it just gives it that extra orangey flavor. You don't have to put the zest in. If you choose not to, it'll just be just a hint of orange, and maybe you do want to put some of that garlic or ginger in there just to give it a little more flavor in the sauce. So I've gotten quite a bit of zest in there. Call that good enough. Get all that goodness in. And then we're going to juice the orange. So before, I've got this nice tool, but if you don't have one, just stick a fork in the middle, squeeze around the fork, that gets all the juice out as well. So try and get as much juice as you can. That's one. And that's, oh goodness, I'm getting really juicy here. And then you're going to pour this into a small saucepan. Just using this little cast iron pan today. So pour that all in there. Again, if you've got your garlic, fresh ginger, chop that up finely, throw that in. Pinch of dried ginger, a little bit of salt. I'll probably add a little more salt at the end too. And then you're going to want to heat that up on the stove and get it to a simmer. So super simple, getting that heat up to a simmer. While that is simmering away, and you don't want to boil it, you don't want to have the whole thing disappear on you, but while that is simmering away, it will reduce by some, and that's okay. It's just going to concentrate the flavors as it does so. And you can be cooking your broccoli. So I'm going to throw a pot on the stove with about a cup of water, throw my broccoli in there, once it's boiled. You're gonna boil the cup of water, throw the broccoli in there, and it'll cook in about 5 to 7 minutes. You could also steam your broccoli if you have a steamer and you prefer that way. So cook up that broccoli, give this a simmer. We haven't forgot about the butter. We're gonna put that in closer to the end. So once your broccoli is ready, then we're gonna combine all these things together and we'll have our broccoli and our delicious sauce. So I have my hot orange juice, I have my cooked broccoli. I'm gonna add the tablespoon of butter into the pan with that hot orange juice. Now you can still do this on the stove. I'm just doing it here so I can face you. And give that a stir until it's all nicely combined. You might find your sauce has thickened quite a bit. Mine has. And the other thing you might want to do is taste your orange sauce and see if it needs a little more salt. Mine is good. I'm going to add any more onto that. So I'm just going to grab things here. And I'm going to put the sauce all over my cooked broccoli. Should mention that I did drain the broccoli, of course, before putting it in the pan. Okay. Give that a really good stir so it's all mixed up. And that was just the perfect amount of sauce for that amount of broccoli. And there you go, an orange broccoli dish that you can serve alongside whatever else you're serving for dinner. So that's our broccoli dish. Next, we're going to make a simple carrot salad. So we need carrots and apple. We're going to use our orange again to flavor the dressing. And if you want, if you like the flavor, you could add some chopped celery or some of the red onion as well. So grab those ingredients and we'll make our salad. For the carrot salad to start with, we're going to start with the veggies and the fruit. So we're going to take a couple carrots, going to peel them and grate them. And we're doing the same thing with the apple. Peel it and grate it, put those in a bowl. And then if you want to, you can chop up some red onion finely and throw that in, whatever amount looks good to you. Same thing with celery. You could chop up some celery really fine and add that in too. And that's going to be the base of our salad. And then bring that all back and we will create the dressing and then maybe add some add-ins. I have my carrots and apple all grated. I add a little red onion and a little celery. So this is the base of my salad and now we're ready to add to it. So just a very simple dressing for this one. I'm going to use our orange again. I'm just going to squeeze that over top. These are really good juicy oranges. And then we'll just give that a stir. That looks really good. So if you need a little bit more, if you can't, if it's still looking dry, you could always squeeze in more, but that is a good juicy orange. And then I'm just going to add a drizzle of olive oil. And again, give that a stir. And a little salt. And then you can jazz it up. So you could eat it just as is this way. If you just did the carrot and apple, that's a very simple salad right there. Or you can jazz it up a little. So raisins are sort of traditional in a carrot salad. I have some unsweetened dried cranberries. So I'm gonna put those in. And then you could put nuts or seeds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds. I have a few walnuts here that I'm going to throw in. And actually, I won't do it right now, but I'll probably throw in that extra little bit of orange that's left over that I didn't need the juice for as well, and chop that up and throw that in as well. And there we have a quick but beautiful carrot salad. So I hope you enjoy all the produce in your bin this month, and we will see you next month.